Just a little quick video here. I've got some mahogany and some black walnut inside my stabilizing unit. Compliments from Cactus Juice. It's Turntex woodworking. And I got my eliminator here. Made in USA. So the stabilizing unit's from Texas, and the unit here is from Aurora, Illinois. Try to buy whatever I can from America. So basically it's just some resin. This is Cactus Juice here. It's usually more of a clearish or slightly yellow color, but as you start to use it, depending on the wood, it'll discolor the resin. It's still good, it just discolors it, so it limits what you can use it for. In this case, I'm using it for mahogany and for some black walnut. And this will probably be a whole week's process. It'll probably be 2 or 3 days in this stabilizing unit, and then it'll sit for a day or two, and then it'll go into the oven for about a half a day. So it's going to get a little noisy, but I'll show you what this all looks like. So I'm going to turn it on, and then we slowly start to cut the air off as it comes through here. The air will come through this, goes through the hose, drops down, comes out through the vacuum pump. As I close this valve, it will start to bubble up here and give us, well, sucks the air out. So you guys will see this. Here we go. Well, as you can see, it starts to get pretty frothy here. Okay, that's the air being sucked out. There's a little bit of moisture left over in the wood. I don't have it to 0%. It's more like 3 to 6 right in there. I had it in the oven yesterday for a good part of the day at about 100 and 125 degrees to slowly dry the wood out a bit. Then I let it cool. I leave it in the oven, I let it cool, and then I take it out and I throw it in here. Anything less than 10% is what you're shooting for. My wood, even in my shop here, most of the wood is below 10%, but now that we're coming into the rainy season with the fall and the winter coming up, there's more moisture in the air. The new shop allows me to keep a heater on, so that keeps things a little bit warmer than it used to be. But as you'll see, the bubbles, it creates a head. As you notice, some of it's starting to fade away now. And as I turn the valve to shut it down more, you'll get more of a head. I just don't want this coming up here. See? I want to lower that. See how fast that goes? So you don't want it to get up to the top of this, because you don't want it to get into the valve, into the hose, and back down into the unit, because then I got to shut everything down and I got to clean it all. So we just slowly turn this valve. You see how it starts to rise. We don't want it to get too high. And I'll just got to be out here for the next half hour playing with it. And then after which I can leave it be, and it'll just be on the vacuum pump for the next couple of days. And it can run for hours and hours and hours and days. This thing, the eliminator here, these commercial grade pumps, you pay a lot up front, but they're well worth the money. If you do get some resin or something inside them, they can be taken apart, they can be cleaned up. But what's important is this unit here, and then getting a good stabilizing unit. There's a couple other companies out there that sell some different types of units and this and that, but Turntex is the way to go. One of the big sellers was the fact that Sandy over at Jackler Knives, he's got one of these as well, and he runs all of his yew and his mahogany and his oak and a lot of the other woods that he uses. He runs it through there as well. And a guy that's been making hundreds of knives by hand in a little tiny shop no bigger than mine, it goes well beyond saying speaking volumes of what this company's like. And having talked to Curtis down in Texas, he's there for all customer service. It's phenomenal what he does, and everything here, except for some of the components, which I'm sure are made in China or something like that. You got to be kind of limited to a point. I just noticed my little feet here. These are for making sure it doesn't tip over. See these feet right here? These are all made by Curtis. He's got CNC machines at his place and he makes them all. I got these screwed into a base. I also got to mount it to this foam like this and just help the vibration and noise. But yeah, I just thought I'd show you guys what I do to stabilize some of the wood. I don't do all my wood. Some stuff can't be stabilized, at least at this kind of a level. Maybe if you have some big commercial type system, but at the regular shop guy, he's not going to be able to stabilize certain things, or there's just too much oil in some wood that you can't stabilize it. So, but I'm going to continue on with this. I thought I'd show you guys a little bit of what I do with some of the woods from my scales. Thanks for stopping by. I'll talk to you later.